King Lawler that just came in a few moments ago. We understand that Jerry Lawler has bruised ribs and
welcome to episode 3 of Wrist Locks with Long Talks, all WWE reviews. I am your host, Aaron. I would like to introduce my co-host, John. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Had a day off today, so it's even better.
That makes it very good, buddy. I know we were meant to be on last week and then potentially tomorrow evening, but things have happened. So we're doing a recording and we're going to cover 6 shows. And we are also going to talk a little bit about Night Champions. So let's just get into it from SmackDown on Friday, the 13th of June. So the show opened with a John Cena segment, and he obviously got interrupted by LA Knight and Randy Orton and everything else that went in with that. And then as Cena's walking out the ramp, he gets attacked by Mr. Ron Killings. Now, what were your thoughts on this opening segment, and John, and how everything in it materialised to get to where we got to at the top of the ramp?
You know what? I thought the promo was spot on. I thought the right person came out to say his piece because he's well over with the crowd. And then when he walked up the ramp, you kind of saw that something was going to happen. And then I was like, oh, I'm liking it. I want to see where this is going to go. Because this isn't over just yet.
Oh, no, definitely not.
There's no more to go than just this. And I even loved it when it went backstage.
Yes, the fact you got to see him with Jamie Noble as well. And Noble saying, calming him down. And I thought, no, what? Because, yes, we know Noble used to fight. And now him being a producer, but actually see him involved in a segment with Ron Killings, I thought was a really nice touch to actually see that as well. Yeah. So moving on from that, we then have, because obviously LA Knight was there anyway, we then have a King of the Ring tournament match, which featured LA Knight versus Carmelo Hayes, Aleister Black, and Randy Orton. Take it away, John.
Do you know what I thought was a good match, but wrong winner?
Okay, why?
Because I don't think Randy needs the King of the Ring because he's already that star.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they should have either given it to LA Knight or Carmelo Hayes because they're both, or maybe Aleister Black because he just came back. He wanted to prove why he's been brought back as well.
Mm-hmm.
But absolutely incredible match, but like I say, wrong winner.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I can see the reason behind, but because obviously we've got more to cover, I can see the reason behind that now from what I've seen for going further forward, if that makes sense. I agree with you, because obviously I think it could have elevated any other talent, because Randy actually doesn't need that as well, but I think it's going to be when it comes to that happening, with when we get to talk about that, I can see the reason the company has done it. Now, my memory serves me correctly, was there not interference in this match as well from Mr. Breakker as well? Again, yeah. So they're continuing the build of the storyline with Knight and Breakker as well, which is good to see. Really, really good to see. Yeah, 100%. So then, after this, we get a Jacob Fatu segment, and say, I thought, right, the work that he's doing and everything else, and I didn't expect what happened to happen, if that makes sense. It's good to see the direction that they're actually going in with Solo and what they're going to do with them two going further forward. And I'm looking forward to seeing how it culminates later on. Yourself?
You know what? Jacob's good on the mic. Absolutely incredible on the mic. And so is Solo. Solo can speak. So it was, the promo was just back and forward,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just incredible to see. Like them, like you say, elevate the storyline with the bloodline, it's never getting old and it's never getting stale. It's always making you wanting the next
More.
part to right now.
Yeah, and it's one you're making more and think, well, right, okay, where is it going to end, or is there going to be other folk that come and whatever else? So, which is what I was interested in and intrigued to see where it goes.
Because I don't know if you know, Aaron, but a certain Herculeo has been doing dark
Yes, I have seen that, and I have something to say about that later on because I think something's going to happen with that when we get to the end of this recording. So we
Yeah.
will then move on to the women's Queen of the Ring fatal four-way for the people to progress. So it's Jade Cargill versus Michin versus Nia Jax versus Piper Niven. Now, I think the right person won this match because it's going to portray Mrs. Cargill as the dominant person that she is. The match itself, I thought, worked very, very well, and how I was surprised because obviously, yes, Nia is bigger, but surprised how, and obviously Piper in there as well being bigger, but I was surprised how they managed to do it and how they're actually putting Jade over now. From like obviously, I know she had the injury, she got put out and had the injury and everything else with what happened with Bailey and stuff. But I'm looking forward to seeing how this progresses going further down the line with Jade.
Sorry, 100% agree with you. Like you say, since she came in, I think she's improved a hell of a lot.
Yeah,
like she came in, she didn't know how to do proper moves. She didn't know how to edge. Well, how would you put it? She didn't know how to put proper moves together, as shall we say.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
And since she went away and come back from the injury, her character has been on some sort of mission to get to where she is now.
Oh yeah, 100%.
The other talent in the match as well was, like you say, Piper Niven, bigger woman, Nia, bigger woman, but they showed how they can use that to their advantage as well.
Yeah, exactly.
The announce tables and it was a fantastic match.
You know what, it's good to see them as well, like letting women do different. I know it never happened before, but letting them do like because it's a match like that's a fatal four-way. It's to progress to the next stages of the King and Queen of the Ring and stuff. To see them doing similar spots to that men are doing as well, it's really good to see. And then obviously involvement with other folk in that again, which is going to build for other storylines going further forward as well. Then, after this, surprisingly, we get a Naomi Miss Money in the Bank segment. Take it away, my friend.
That was fire.
Mm-hmm.
The way she come out and said that she's looking to cash in at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when it's going to happen. It was like, oh, this is going to be really interesting because did you not have Tiffany come out as well? And then
had Tiffany come out and do stuff, and then like Nia Jax gets involved as well, and they try to goad each other and stuff to get her to do stuff, and it doesn't go anywhere. And that, but I don't know if you've seen from stuff on X as well, though, John, because obviously I follow Naomi on Twitter or X as it's now called. But what you see, she's opened the briefcase and she's put different little things in it, and you see the
figure in it.
And I'm thinking, I'm looking at that, and I'm thinking, I know, like they normally come in and they do with the briefcase. I was going to say camera with the briefcase, and they'll hit someone over the head with it or whatever. But I'm wondering how this is working when she's going anywhere else with the show. How she's getting these things through as well, and if it's going to eventually, because I've never seen anybody add anything to a briefcase before, and it shows that Naomi's been inventive as well. But you're right with the promo. It's just to see her again getting what she deserves, because she should have had it many, many moons ago. And the fact that it's taken her this long in the company to actually have the opportunity to get a title shot within the next year is just something phenomenal.
Yeah.
Next, we had the Motor City Machine Guns versus the Wyatt Six, and this was a squash. It didn't last very, very long, but the Wyatt Six won.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm loving the Wyatts, seeing the Wyatts back and in different variations of tagging and stuff. But Motor City Machine Guns are a great tag team because I've seen them before and stuff. But for this match to not go any length of time or stuff like that, if you know what I mean, I was like, wait a minute, here, where are we going?
I mean, to be honest with you, like I'm like yourself. I've watched the Motor City Machine Guns for years,
Mm-hmm.
and to see it get squashed. I can see why they're doing it because of what's happening later on.
Yeah,
but
totally.
I don't think they should be getting this squashed as quickly as what they did.
I don't either, mate. And then we move on to the Undisputed Championship. Another segment with him. You know what? Oh no, you. Sorry, I went last time. Sorry.
Is this the match?
No, there's a segment, and then Punk comes out.
Oh, right, yeah. And talking about how
he's waiting for R-Truth's music to hit. R-Truth's music doesn't hit, then CM Punk's music hits. Punk comes out. Punk says what he says, and then we'll lead into what happens next, basically. Within that.
I like the pipe bomb.
No, that's not this show.
Oh, it's just not this show. Oh.
No, it's okay, mate. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I can't even remember the segment even happening.
The thing is, I thought it was a good segment how they came out, right, and interacted and stuff, and like he was expecting Ron Killings to come, and Punk's music, as we said, hits. They have to go backwards and forwards, and then Ron Killings turns up again and does an STF feud, blah blah. I'm liking where this is going with him and John, and it's leading to what happens on Friday Night SmackDown Friday Night SmackDown that we're going to talk about coming up. It leads to what goes on in there. I thought it was really, really good. If my memory serves me correctly, no, it's not this one. It's somewhere else. I'm going somewhere wrong. But anyway, so then after this, we get Alexa. Well, I can't remember if this was it, or was this just a match? No, it was. It must have been. So this was another. One, three. Yeah. So this was another women's match, fatal four-way for the Queen of the Ring. So it was Alexa Bliss versus Charlotte Flair versus Candice LeRae and Alba Fire. And obviously, so happy with who won because I think Miss Bliss deserves it and everything else. I liked because again, there was it's a fatal four-way, anything can happen. Obviously, Green and the rest of them were there, and there was other outside interference. I liked how this went, but overall happy with Alexa getting the win and looking forward to seeing how that progresses further with Alexa. And I'm loving Alexa's character and what I've seen her doing, because obviously I know we've had Fanatics Fest and everything else recently over the weekend, just to see what I've seen over the weekend, which we'll touch on when we get to SmackDown and stuff like later on. I thought it was really, really cool what I've seen her doing with people there.
Yeah, I agree. I'm loving Alexa. I just can't wait to see when they hit that switch.
Yes, I'm hoping it's coming because you see her teasing it in the matches. You see her teasing it, and
do you not see when the camera went a bit distilled?
Yes, and I'm thinking, it's coming, and then we get to the main event of the evening, which is the final King of the Ring match, which was Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest versus Andrade versus Shinsuke Nakamura, and Mr. Rhodes wins this match. And I thought, well, actually, go for it. I'll let you go for a change.
You know what? I actually thought it was all right, but I'm seeing him teasing that he's away to
Yes,
on
yes,
the
yes, yes,
inside.
yes. And you know what? I'm looking forward to actually seeing Cody, actually when the switch turns, when it does, because you could see it's looking like it, because we're going to touch base on that very shortly, and stuff, and how he was like what, and that as well. So all in all, the whole show I think was a very, very good show. It's building towards when, for the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments, and how that's going to portray, and how that'll culminate at Night of Champions when we get to the other matches that we're waiting to cover on the other shows. What do you think of the show overall then, John?
You know what, I thought it was a really good show, and
Mm-hmm.
it's building to what I think is potentially going to be a show stealer.
Oh yeah, 100%, mate, 100%. Right, moving on to Monday Night Raw on the 16th of June. Now, I think this is week 2 when Mr. Pat McAfee wasn't on the show again, and it was Corey Graves and Michael Cole on commentary, I believe.
Yes.
So this is 2 weeks, but I know, because he's burnt out, because I've seen it, he's asked for
Stu Bennett. Not Stu Bennett.
Wade Barrett. It was either Wade or Corey, but I do think it was Corey Graves. I might be wrong, but if it is, I'm so sorry, Mr. Barrett, if it was yourself. Okay. So we go on and we open with Dirty Dom and Liv Morgan segment. And you're talking about, obviously, what happened with Nikki Bella previously and everything else, and throw shade on that, and what could come with Evolution, because that's an all women's pay-per-view which is coming up. All in all, I thought this was a brilliant segment. Yes, Dom's still getting these boos that he's getting from the crowd, but Liv is so freaking over on that microphone.
He's getting the cheers as well.
Yeah, I know he's getting. It's good to see him getting both, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it's just Liv Morgan being over the way she is, and able to do the promo and everything else, and get to the case in point where it needed to be, because what she was speaking about with Nikki Bella, I thought, wow, I'm looking forward to if what because we're going to talk about what that very shortly. I was looking forward to that culminating when it came to the women's Evolution match, but because it's stuff beyond our control, which we'll touch on very shortly, that I think won't happen anymore. But
yeah, I thought I'm really enjoying the evolution of Dominic.
oh yeah, 100%, mate.
I mean, like I keep saying it, and I'll say it again. So come from like where we come from with being the tag champs with his dad,
Yeah,
to then coming into his own of being Eddie Guerrero Jr. I'm going to call him that.
yeah, no, 100%. In fact, that he went when he won the belt, he went and put it. He promised that he put it there, and I thought that was a touch of class. Actually, going to Eddie's grave with a belt as well. I thought that was really, really nice.
And the segment with and obviously Liv, she's doing some of the best work she's done.
100%.
And like you say, it's a bit of a shame what we're going to talk about.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It was building. This was going to be building a barn burner of a match.
Oh yes, 100%, mate. I totally get that. So then we get on to a women's Queen of the Ring match, and the returning Asuka versus Ivy Nile versus Raquel Rodriguez and Stephanie Vaquer. Now Asuka won this match. Take it away, my friend.
Well, see, when I seen the entrance for Asuka, I was like, she's winner.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, to be fair, like, she's been missed. I've missed Asuka.
100%, mate.
The face paint.
Oh, mate, honestly, yeah, you're right. When she took that mask off and the paint's all here, but it's not just the face, it's all the way down to the neck and everything else. I'm thinking the fact she'd been out for near enough 13 months, I believe.
Yeah, 13
and
months,
stuff. You know what I mean? So when like that, I was like, when I heard she was coming back, I was thinking, surely she's not just going to win the match. You know what I mean? Surely she's not going to go into it to win it. But the way they built, and to have her tune back as well, her tune from when she came back, You know what I mean?
And it was the creator of the Fiend mask that made her mask as well.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Honestly, it's just, you know what? So happy for all the women in this match. I am.
Definitely.
I'm very, very happy that Asuka got the win. But you're right. Like it just what when she's been away, she's obviously been thinking with Triple H alone creatively. How can we make this bigger? How can we make this better? And you've seen it alone at all when you take off the match. Right. I'm going to let you talk about Mr. Gunther's promo.
Is this the return by any chance?
Yes, so you touch on his promo and then what happens next, because it led to the crowd interaction to what we get within that.
Yeah, no, his promo was good.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he just like went dead silent, and when I heard that music, I just hit the fucking roof.
Yeah,
I was like, this is fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
I was like, I thought when the botch happened with Undertaker, I thought that was it, that he was done.
yeah.
I was freaking raging with this. I was not happy with this at all.
Fair enough. And I know with the crowd and then him going on about he'd heard the rumours and the crowd shouting Goldberg, Goldberg. Then it goes silent, his music hits, comes out, does the promo that he does, and then gets in his face and goes, "You're next." But do remember when he did his thing, because remember way back, was it the Rumble? I'm sure it was, or maybe even before that. But there was involvement with his kid, and he trashed.
That was last year. That was last year.
So that's what I mean. That's where this has come from. This is built from that to where we're getting, and obviously, yes, it was confirmed later on in the evening. It's Saturday night main event in
12th of July.
12th of July, he will go up against Gunther for the World Heavyweight title, and I believe that his actual final match and retirement match as well.
Yeah, because I've seen a spoiler that has Jey Uso versus Gunther in a street fight for the World title on the. I think it's either the night before or the Friday after
this match. Okay, fair enough. But no, I get what you're saying. A lot of folk, but I was like, I heard the music because I'd seen it all week thinking, oh, he's coming back. I thought, like you, the same with what happened with Taker. I thought, never in a million years. But then I went back and thinking, remember, Triple H, the way he does, he likes long-term storytelling, and this has been a year brewing and stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes when it comes to it in the 12th of July. But let's move on. We have AJ Styles versus JD McDonough with Mr. Dominic Mysterio with him. And Mr. Styles gets the win, which I'm very happy with. But some of the spots in this match alone, with it and the way like JD was doing stuff and then Dom trying to get involved and stuff as well, I thought, this is interesting.
Yeah, you were right, by the way. I'm just thinking back to what a certain commentator said on commentary.
Yes.
I seen this online and I was like, that is class.
Yeah.
So Corey Graves was on commentary because he said it's not JD's fault that he's got a head built like a Minecraft character.
That's it. Yes, exactly. Yes, I do remember that now. Yeah, that is class. That is class. But no, what? Honestly, I'm loving. Yes, obviously, I love Pat, and we all do, right? But I'm loving the fact, that Corey's back and he's getting the time and whatever else to hone his craft again and stuff.
Did you see JD's response to that?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I did. I seen it on Twitter, which I thought was class.
NXT.
Yeah, honestly, this is what I love with the talent. If someone, even if it's a commentator or that, if they say something on Twitter, they'll react back to it to get. If it's going to build to anything with storyline, I think it's great. But I think this was a great match. Happy to get AJ the win and all the other stuff that went on in between as well. Over to you, my friend, with this match. What did you think of the match, Sonny?
Oh, what did I think of the match? I thought it was absolutely brilliant.
Mm.
I thought, like, yeah, there was a couple of botches,
Yes.
but overall, like you say, AJ won, which was great.
Yeah. Okay, we get a Bailey promo. Off you pop.
Hard hitting, very, very hard hitting. To see her come back the way she did, and then just, I'm. Do you know what? She's winning. She is going to win the Intercontinental Women's Champion. I'm telling you that now.
So Bailey, that promo was great, and I'm trying not to because we're covering that very later. So anyway, but the fact that how her and Lynch went backwards and forwards, and then Lyra came out at some point, but it's like how they and she went on about being in someone's ass, and do you know how it is to hold gold? And I'm thinking, oh wow, they've just went there with these two different things. I'm like, oh my freaking god. And then obviously after that, you get the backstage segment where Lyra and whatever else, and then that leads to the following Raw, where this week the Raw Monday night just passed, which it was for the belt. And I am looking forward to that, talking about that and everything else, because that was a very, very good match. Then we go on to what we spoke about earlier, Liv Morgan versus Kairi Sane. Now, this match didn't actually end at all, because during the match, through no fault of Kyrie's of her own, that Liv had an injury. I think she dislocated her shoulder and stuff. So what I thought was good about this, though, yes, they gave Kyrie the win. I know they've given her the win, even though it wasn't thingy. But obviously they got the doctor's tell and whatever else. And then whilst they were doing what they're doing, Kyrie doing what she did in the ring like this, and then spinning around just to fill time because they were checking on her. So rather than the ring being dead and there being nothing there, I loved, even though what was going on and the nature of the injury, and we wish Liv Morgan the very, very best in the recovery and everything else. Just for Kyrie to be inventive and do what she did so they could get her away and that and still utilise some time that she might have had. Because I think if that didn't happen, I think that match would have went a lot longer than it did. And it's an unfortunate thing. Injuries do happen in the wrestling business, and it's very, very unfortunate. But it's also as well. It's good to have seen other female wrestlers reaching out and saying that they're wishing her well as well, even though they on TV they may not be friends because they're playing different characters. But obviously, yes, we know outside the ring they are, and it's great to see other talent reaching out and saying stuff to her about that. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. I do you know what? I thought the start of the match was really good.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately the injury happened.
Yeah.
But like you say, best wishes to Liv Morgan. And it's good that WWE also came out and said they're not taking the tag titles away from them.
Yeah, no, 100%. Which I think is the right thing to do, because it's normally they would. Like they would make if it was a bigger, they would potentially make them relinquish and stuff. But I think that's great that they haven't done that to her and Raquel, which is really, really good.
I think it's going to be Roxanne.
They could, yes. So because they could fill in because she's there. So if they defend, she could step up to the plate, 100%. And we get on to the main event of the evening, which is Rusev versus Sheamus versus Bronson Reed versus Jey Uso with Mr. Heyman or Mr. Breaker. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's definitely some of them. No, there's some of them there from Seth's crew.
I'm sure it was all of them.
Right, okay. Well, Mr. Yeet Man won this match.
Yeah, because there was because Bronson Reed got his receipt from Mr. LA Knight himself.
Again, yes, mate. I know what, and that's what I'm saying. The fact that this is culminating between all of them, him, Breaker, Reed, like Seth's faction, that's going to culminate. But you've mentioned about that. On a whole, what did you actually think of the match? And obviously the shenanigans outside too.
I thought the match was great. I thought having Rusev, who's just came back from AEW.
Yep.
You've got Sheamus, you've got the returning of, well, you've got Sheamus, who's just not long back from injury.
Yep.
And then you've had Jay, who's done the best work of his life so far.
Oh, 100%, mate.
And then you've got the up-and-coming Bronson Reed, which he's doing incredible stuff with Seth.
And Braun Breaker, mate. I think it's, for them, like, creating this new faction, I think it's going to elevate both of them more, working alongside Seth as well, like Bronson and that. It's going to make them reach for the stars, higher than they actually are now. Overall, the whole show, other than the injury to Liv, and I think if that didn't happen, I think we were going to get that banger match with her and Nikki Bella at Women's Evolution. I do think that was going to happen. But then they could come back to that later on down the line, because obviously Nikki is still around and stuff like that. So I think that could come. But a nice more build up towards, obviously, for leading up to the participants for the King and the Queen of the Ring, and we get the semi-finals between SmackDown and Raw.
I was saying to myself the other day that they're calling it a Night of Champions. They shouldn't even call it a Night of Champions anymore.
I know why, because there's only 2 title belts on the line. It's
like, why have all these titles
and only defend 2 of them?
Yeah, like, how often have you seen the Raw Tag Team Champions defended on a PLE? How often have you seen?
Yep. I get it, mate. It's like the way this, because we'll talk about it. Well, I know we're touching on it now, but we'll talk about it very soon once we get to the end. But it's just, why call it that when there's only a couple of belts on the line? Before, when they came up with the idea of Night of Champions, it used to be every belt was defended on the line and stuff. And I don't know why, but anyway. Let's move on to NXT from the 17th of June. So we get 2 different because obviously we're leading to Evolution, and we're having eliminator matches. So we're having like different throughout this show. We have different females going up against different females. And whoever wins progresses, and then it culminates to what happened this week on Tuesday night last night, because this is Wednesday. What happened last night on NXT? So the first eliminator match for Women's Evolution we have is Thea Hale versus Jada Parker, and I've said her name wrong. I'm very sorry, but Jada Parker won. Loving this match, honestly. Wow. I just to see them and to see Hale doing what she's doing now. We're being out of the other, like Chase U she was with, wasn't it? If memory's correct, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So seeing her going out alone now and not being involved with that crew and having the spots, but to go up against a talent and a worker like Parker, it's just phenomenal to see both of these women doing so well. And I would have liked to see Thea win, but I'm also happy Jada Parker won too. Thoughts, my friend?
Both women absolutely stole that opener, like absolutely stole. Thea Hale, absolutely incredible talent. Jada Parker, she's improved since she's come in. And yeah, like you said, Jada Parker deserved to win, but I would have liked to see Thea Hale win as well.
Yeah, no, same, mate.
I think she's been in NXT for what, 3, maybe 4 years now.
I think you're right, buddy. Yeah.
And to see when she came in, she didn't know how to do an arm lock or a wrist lock or anything like that.
To see her now, but it shows that when you start and what happens and how you elevate and what's going on in NXT, it's helping them improve as well. And what Shawn Michaels and the rest of the guys there are helping him do, and like Ava, it's phenomenal to see the character growth in all the men and the women in this promotion. It's great. And then so after Thea's match and Jada Parker's match, We get Lash Legend. It's another eliminator match, which is Lash Legend versus Keelan Jordan, and Lash Legend won. Take it away, John.
I thought this was an absolute another stealer of a match. I know that Lash has been getting training from Trick, her partner.
Yeah.
When she bounced off the ropes and done that bum to the face dash, that was like, yeah, you've definitely been getting that from Trick. But yeah, no, I loved the match. I thought the right winner won.
It's really good, and you could see. Yes, obviously we know this, and most of the people do know that her and Trick are partners within the business. But for him to be able to show her stuff as much as she'll get guidance from Mr. Bloom.
Yeah, Matt Bloom.
Matt Bloom, that's it. Matt Bloom, Shawn Michaels, and the rest of the guys. But to get that extra guidance from her own partner as well, and to then use everything she's got from all the other coaches, but then what he's got and put everything all together, including what he's shown her in a match, is just phenomenal. And I'm watching it thinking, holy fucking shit, I'm really enjoying this match. You know what I mean? And happy she won and everything else. And it was just like, oh, okay. I wonder where, because obviously that's 2 matches down, and then we've got another couple of matches to speak about, and then that happens. What the outcome of the rest of the match is culminated on last night's NXT, which we'll talk about when we get there. But honestly, I just love the work that these girls are all doing. Like all of them, it's phenomenal to see what the NXT talent are like, and the fact that they could be the next up and comers and then move into the main roster, and the main roster where these women will be even elevated even further than it is right now. Then we get a Dawn of NXT segment.
Tony D'Angelo.
Yes, I was like, what would I was like to myself, wait a minute, what? I'm thinking, right, okay, I know what's going on with it, I know where we're going with it, but did we need the segment? Yes, maybe, but did we need it to go on and give all the other bits that we needed? I personally don't think so, but I see why it's been done. I totally do see why it's been done. But we'll
speak about it because it follows on to this week's NXT.
Yes, I know, and that's why I'm like, when I seen it, I'm thinking, do we need this? Do we need it? And I'm like, okay, right. And then I'm loving the fact that, and we speak about it every time we talk about NXT and everything else, I'm still loving the collaboration that they have with TNA, and the fact you're getting to see Casey Navarro, AJ Francis, i.e. when he was in WWE, Top Dollar, to getting to see these guys, Yoshiko Inanure, Josh, I can't remember his surname, I think it's...
Josh Briggs,
and stuff, right? Getting to see these guys doing their work that they're doing, because I've got the TNA stuff plus, right? But getting to see all of them, the WWE guys and the guys on TNA, because I was watching it, and seeing them all collaborating together across the both shows is just something phenomenal. And obviously, this was a tag match, and because you had Elijah, Josh, and Yoshi were the other partners. Like, there was 3, so it's... Yes. Yoshi Inamura, so it was Elijah, Josh, and Yoshi Inamura were the other tag, and obviously they 3 won. Me personally, I've already hyped it too much, but I love this match just to see how these guys all worked in the ring together, and what the story that they're trying to portray and trying to put over on both shows is just something phenomenal. And I know we've said it millions of times, well, 3 times because it's the 3rd time, but I know we speak about it off the podcast and everything else. But to see the TNA World Championship actually being on a WWE star is just, what the hell? Never in a million years. And we know we keep saying it until it changes. Never in a million years did I ever think it would happen. And then we'll have what we have to cover on this what happens this week after NXT, what happens with you know who.
Yeah.
Stuff. So me alone, I thought it was a brilliant match, and it's helping elevate all the guys and put eyes on TNA and NXT more than as well. I think I've talked too much about this match, so you could carry on.
like you say, to see like the collaboration with TNA and putting eyes on both brands, which is incredible.
Yeah.
And I never thought I'd see Josh Briggs ever be the star that he is now.
Yeah,
when he left, who was it? He was part of somebody else.
Yeah, then, I can't remember the group either, but it will come at some point.
Yeah, but no, like just to see how far like they've all came, and even Casey Navarro.
Yeah,
he's one of my favourites in TNA at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And just to like watch, like top flopper as I like to call him.
Yeah, I know why, mate. Totally.
AJ Francis, he's improved a hell of a lot as well.
Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. And I know, as you say, I'm just like so happy that the brand for both shows has been elevated. And one, I don't think it would, but one person I would love to see maybe do a crossover and come to NXT is Leon fucking Slater, because he is a phenomenal talent, mate.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Yeah. I love, he's maybe wrestling with guys, and there might not be a program for him at the moment, but I would love if there's a chance for him to do something on NXT with an NXT or vice versa on TNA to see how that works out. Because I remember the TNA show I went to, I was there with Craig, obviously, and he says to me, right, you need to watch this guy, blah, blah, blah. First time I seen him, mate, and I fell in love with him because, honestly, he's a technical wrestler and everything else, and I just think if he was on NXT or an NXT superstar went over to fight him on TNA, I think they would help elevate each other even more.
I have a theory.
Oh, here we go.
Right, so we know that Leon Slater is an honorary Hardy.
Oh yes, I know, yes.
So when the Hardys eventually turn up in NXT, will he come with them?
Oh mate, I completely fucking forgot about that. That's a very good shout. Well done, you. Right. Moving on from the match and talking about TNA, because that's what we do, we waffle. That's why it's called, the podcast is what it is. It's waffling and talks. Well, it's not really waffling and talks. It's long talks and waffles, but there we go. We go from, so it's another eliminator match for the Evolution matches. It's Saraya versus Izzy Dame. Take it away, my friend, because I've talked too much about TNA.
I love.
By the way, sorry, Izzy Dame won.
Yeah, I love Izzy Dame.
Yeah,
I love what she's doing with the Cullen, the match was great. Mm-hmm. The match was absolutely phenomenal. She had the momentum throughout the whole match, and the fact that who is it now? Zaria had Sol Ruka.
That's right. Yes. Yes.
And Sol Ruka tried to get involved.
Yep.
And the fact that Izzy Dane managed to overcome the two of them was like, I was just like, credit where credit's due.
Yeah. 100%. Like you, mate, I'm again elevating, loving what she's doing, and so happy, and can't wait to talk about this week's NXT, because obviously that's the three of them that we've spoke about, and then we go on to the main event of the evening, which was Jordana Grace versus Lola Vice in the final eliminator match to determine the fatal four-way for this week's NXT. And obviously Jordana Grace, what more can you say? She won the match, but honestly, she did. The thing is, she is brilliant in the ring. She was when she was in TNA, and I'm happy to see that she has a contract for NXT and what she's doing and helping, like, elevate other girls, get other girls over. But this match alone, and how her and Lola reacted together and got to the point where it was, and obviously Jordana getting the win and everything else to take it to this week's NXT come in and stuff. I'm looking
Her
forward.
husband, Jordan Grace's husband's also helping her train as well.
Oh, really? Lola Vice?
No, Jordan Grace.
Oh, Jordan and Gray, right. Oh, right, okay, fair enough.
Because Jordan Grace is married to Jonathan Gresham.
So, yes, that's right, yes. So I wasn't aware that he was helping train her as well as all the other people, which you could probably tell anyway, but wow.
Yeah.
Just again, mate, another amazing match, but Grace always puts on amazing matches anytime you see them.
Yeah.
Right. Your thoughts, my friend?
She's a fantastic talent. Both of them together had the chemistry to pull off. Like, the end of NXT was just phenomenal the way that match ended.
Oh, yeah, 100%, mate. Now, overall, for this show, I thought it was a really good show, and obviously, we know, which we could do it now, obviously, Judea Piker, Lash Legend, Sarai, Izzy Dame, and Jordan and Grace, the four of them, which we'll talk about very soon when we get to NXT. Well, that's the last thing we will talk about. All facing off against each other in a fatal four-way to determine who will go on to face Jessie Jane. Is that right? Who's the title holder? Yes, that at Women's Evolution. So I'm looking forward to talking about that very shortly, but that again was, oh wow. Yeah. Right, moving on to Friday Night SmackDown on the 20th of June. Getting there slowly but surely, but it's fine. We have time. We open up with a segment with LA Knight. Yeah. Right. Go for it, mate. Go for it.
You know what? It was just basically what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Where got the John Cena and that he's what to go for that.
Yeah.
And the fact that they keep dropping the ball with LA Knight.
Yes, mate, 100%.
It's infuriating because he's not got long left in the business.
Yeah. It's infuriating, mate, but it's just... Honestly, if I remember rightly, within this, there was other bits that happened as well, and stuff like that. And oh my word, it was just something else. If you know what I mean, because there's more like the stuff that is it there we're talking about it, or was it there?
And he was also talking about
it because this is where Mister gets his hands on Mister. So then we get to. Carry on.
It's just where the interference happened, and then, yeah.
Yes. Interference happens because we're going to talk about that because that leads into what happens because... Did that happen on there? Did it happen? You'll correct me because I might be wrong, right? Okay, so when I get there, I'll shut up in case I'm completely wrong, okay? So we then move to the semi-finals of the women's... King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring, not King, Queen of the Ring tournament. Miss Alexa Bliss versus Asuka. Again, take it away, my friend. I
was chuffed to bits with this match. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, we've seen this match in the past.
Yes, we have.
But it's never been so. There's not been so much on the line as what there is in this match.
Yeah, 100%, mate.
And just again, Asuka's presentation with the face paint.
Oh mate, wow, something entirely different.
I'm just loving how they're managing to, reinvent herself, shall we say?
Yeah, even Alexa as well, giving that little twist and again to give way that little to say that it's still there. I do think there's. I don't know when it's happening, but I do think that she will eventually be with them, the Wyatts, because they are now one. If you know what I mean. So I do feel it's happening, but when they're going to pull the trigger, I don't know. But overall, mate, what a match, because you're right, we've seen this before and everything else, but good to see it again, and just what they both put into this match and what they did. Just, oh, wow. Wow.
You could tell both did it just as much as the other.
Yes, so I'm right? Because the next match was Mr. Black versus Mr. Wilson. If I remember rightly, this match didn't get off very well. It didn't start at all because there was Mr. Killings got involved. Is that correct?
He come in and attacked Kit and Mr. Wilson, and then it went to the back, and Alistair confronted
him. Yes, that's what I was just. I couldn't remember if this happened on SmackDown or Raw. Right, I was just trying because I did what I just couldn't remember because obviously we're covering that much, and it's just this is what I'm going to talk about with this backstage segment. What I loved, yes, he confronted him, and he walks away. Right, you see them both there like that, and then Mr. Damian Priest walks in, puts the hand, and says, "Leave me, I will sort this," and then he leaves and says, "Goodbye, Black. Okay, Ron." No, he says, "Okay, Ron." He goes, "Goodbye, Black." And then Priest saying what he says to him and saying, "Don't you go about kicking lumps and doing this. Go out there and cover your business tonight with Cena, and we'll go out and celebrate and have beers." And I'm thinking,
because did you not say you take care of business out there, and we'll go and celebrate? And I was like, that's because to see how far Killings has come since like Judgment Day days with Priest.
Yes. You remember him and Priest in Judgment Day days? He didn't want. Priest was trying to keep the straight face and everything else, and he couldn't because he's the comedian act. Okay, if you know what I mean. But just to see him referencing that, saying, "Look, you made me laugh before," and everything else, and it's just the total character arc, and I love what they're doing when they change a character, but they then bring in a character that they've worked with before, and the arc is going to, it continues on with it. And I'm thinking, I'm sitting there watching it, I'm like, holy fucking shit, did I just see that right in my head? I had to actually physically rewind it to think, wait a fucking minute, Damien's come, and he's then told him to go and take care of shit. I was like, whoa, wait a fucking minute. And I thought, that again is a little Easter egg from before, because what's happened with them before in the Judgment Day, and to see how he's changed with this new character of Ron Killings instead of R-Truth, but to also see how Damien's liking him being the serious person that he is, rather than, yes, he can still make people laugh now and again, but to being this more serious character to what he was, I'm just loving it. Absolutely loving it. So then after all of that, the segments, we get Mr. Cody, a segment from Mr. Rhodes.
Yeah. When he comes out and tells them like that he's going to win the match later on.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I actually thought it was a really good match. Not match.
Segment.
To say that he's going to win on Monday, and that him and Jay have this brother.
Yeah.
But no, really good.
No, I thought it was a good segment, and for him to say what he was going to do and how they are brothers and everything else, but he was that confident in his own abilities and capabilities that he was going to go ahead and do what he does. Then we get the semi-final for the men's King of the Ring, and it is Mr. Orton versus Mr. Sami Zayn. Again, two brilliant talents going up against each other and everything else. And I'm happy with the person that won, because what we're going to talk about very shortly with what we've just alluded to and stuff. I'm happy this person won. Yes, I would have loved to seen Sammy, but for the way they're going with what they've done for Night of Champions come in, it makes sense now for this. And we'll wait till we get to Raw and I'll explain why this makes sense.
I know why it makes sense. I've already read your mind.
What?
I've already read your mind.
Right, okay, so we'll get to that. But I thought, I would have loved Sammy to win, but because of what happens, I'm think it's going to thingy. So after all that match, because it was a brilliant match, because they always are, because Randy always puts on a great match, and so does Sammy. We get to Nia Jax segment with Tiffy and Naomi, and this is where we mucked up because what we spoke about happened on this SmackDown, not the other SmackDown.
That was my fault. I'll put my hands up.
No, it's fine. We both did it. So yeah, they all came out and they tried to goad her to cashing in the belt and everything else, and she doesn't do it and all that kind of jazz. La da da da. Oh no, brilliant.
That sets up the last women standing match for
Yes.
this week's SmackDown.
It certainly does, my friend, and I am so looking forward to seeing how that actually goes, man. Like this Friday, because wow, and it's going that match alone is just going to. I think that might even, if it doesn't steal the show, it'll be up there, because to see these women getting to do these matches now. It's just phenomenal, like the tables matches. Yes, I know Money in the Bank came in for them, but to see them doing matches that treating them like equals, treating them like males, and letting them do these types of matches, it's great to actually see it happening in the main roster. Yes, I know it's happened in NXT quite a bit and different things, but oh wow. Right, we have Charlotte Flair versus Chelsea Green with Piper Niven and Alba Fire. Take it away. Mrs. Flair won this match. Off you pop.
Do you know what? I'm a Chelsea Green fan,
Mm-hmm.
and I wish she got a bit more respected in SmackDown, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And I know she's got the secret hairfist.
Yes.
But I don't know why Charlotte won this match. She doesn't need to win the match.
No, she doesn't, but
we all know she's up her own backside, just like her father.
now, I was expecting a bit more involvement from the other two. Yes, there was some, but I was expecting more than, because I know when they're normally there. There is, because she's there back up there, private security or whatever it is and stuff. I was expecting a little bit more, but I agree with you. The fact that, she was the first women's US title holder, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then to be where she is and playing fiddle to Charlotte to win, I just think she needs to get elevated more with on SmackDown, because I love her. And I want to see her doing bigger things and better things. But I do think it'll come. But I just don't know when they're going to do it with them. It's just, I just don't know,
It's just been a very, very slow build.
It has been very slow build. If you remember when she was in one of the matches, like it was a trash can match, and she was, remember how she was covered head to toe and all that stuff? Like
the
dumpster match, when she was covered head to toe and she went backstage and everything else, and now that proves, I know this was ages ago, that proves character work. The fact she had that match, something happened, there was a backstage segment, but she was still covered in all this crap, and she goes to speak to Nick Aldis and whatever, and then kicking off like this. No, because it was Raw, because she was under Adam Pearce at the time. And she goes like this, and then there's other folk going like that. Oh, I think you stink. And I'm thinking, you know what? That shows whatever they put in front of her, she is willing to fucking run with it, mate. Regardless of how we feel about it and stuff and what they're doing, but whatever they put in front of her, she'll run with it to the help for them, and that I love to see. But like you, I do want to see her getting elevated more up the company too. Right, we go on to a Solo Sikoa segment.
So we had, if I'm not mistaken correctly, was that the one where they're on the Titantron?
Yes. And he goes, I love you.
And then you had that figure at the back that didn't look anything like JC Mateo, but it actually was.
Yes, exactly. And I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it look like still the stuff that they do with the bloodline. And even though we're not getting much mention of that anymore, I totally get it. But this alone is going to be in a fucking great match at Night of Champions. Because both of them on the mic, both their promos over both weeks has just been something phenomenal. And I'm looking forward to actually seeing this match at Night of Champions. Right.
And
Yeah.
I think I've got a theory, right?
Okay, here we go.
Now, I think during the match at Night of Champions,
Mm-hmm. Which we can wait. We can talk about this because we are going to talk about Night of Champions. Remember?
Yeah, but
okay,
I'll keep it for that. But I think you know where I'm going with this.
Yes, I do think I know where you're going with this, mate. Because obviously we've got Raw and then NXT, and then we'll touch base on Night Champions just slightly, not too much. So then we have Mr. Knight versus Mr. Breaker with Mr. Heyman at ringside. And remember what we spoke about like earlier about him not getting the rub of the green and stuff? He got the rub of the green here because he actually fucking won. You know what I mean? They must have answered our prayers and everything else. You know what? Just phenomenal. Just even how quickly fucking Breaker hits the ropes, does that fucking speed out of nowhere and everything else. Oh no, don't mate. I can't even fucking run that fast. And he's in a ring and goes, you know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck?
It takes me all my time to walk from the bus station up to that bloody wardrobe gym.
Yeah, mate. So honestly, wow. You know what? Again, I said it was coming, but I still do not think this is over. I still don't think this is over with him and Breaker and Bronson and Seth, because I'm sure after the match as well, if memory serves me correctly, Seth said something to Braun or Bronson.
No, Seth said something to Braun, but it wasn't Braun that done anything. It was Bronson. Bronson went on the top rope, boom, splash, boom, splash, boom, splash. I don't know how many splashes he's done, but he's definitely put LA Knight out on the shelf for maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks. I'm wondering if that's been purposely, if he is, or if he's having time off or whatever. Because normally, if they put people off the TV, it's for a reason. If that makes sense. Right. Oh mate. Yes. Right. Cena versus Killings. What a match. But obviously, Mr. Killings gets the win because of DQ, because Cena being a total fucking heel and the asshole that he is, boof with a belt, as fucking always.
What? Right? I had a really good theory before this match started, that John was going to talk to Nick Aldis during the show.
Yeah.
Get the match changed to an I Quit match.
Right, okay.
Then John's music hits, he comes out. Then Killings' music hits, he comes out. John says to the referee, it's now a I Quit match. So, and then he'll give the mic to R-Truth. John says, what type of match are we having? R-Truth, being the comedy guy that he is, says, I quit. John Cena then wins the match, boom, done.
Now that is quite invigorating and very good. But you know what? I'm loving how Cena's heel work. And I seen a tweet today because we were talking about him, and the fact that he says that the end of his run is going to be the fans are going to dictate how the curve goes. The end of his run. So it'll be up to us. And I'm thinking, oh, that'll be interesting how they portray with different everything else that's coming. But Cena's pipe bomb. Fuck me. Wow. Mate, I said about this, right? The fact he did his promo, the way he did it, and he went, hiya, Matt Cadona. Hiya, Claudio Costanelli. Hiya, oh, fuck, whoever that other one is, because there was 3. Nick Nemeth, wasn't it? The third one?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Right, and how he does all that, and then, because Punk comes and whatever else and does that. For me, right, and I loved it because it's the best he has been at being the heel so far, right? But I would have loved it, right, if he went up to the top of the ramp and did the cross legs the way Punk did and sat at the top of the ramp about being the best in the world and everything else. I thought that if he did that, that would have made it alone more fitting. But what a fucking promo, man. But what I do need to go, wait, before you go. Now, obviously, I'd seen on Twitter at GCW show, Matt Cardona was sitting on the turnbuckle and he went, "Hello, John Cena." And I thought, that is fucking class. Even though he name dropped him, he just all Matt did was hello. And I thought, class.
No, he did name drop him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But he went, "Hello, John Cena." I don't think he did anything else. You think he just sat on the?
Yeah, no, he did. He bounced off the top. He bounced off the top rope, and then he got on with his match, and then he went like that again,
Nice.
and then he went.
No, what? But as I say, wow. I think it says best promo in a while, if you know what I mean, as a heel, because his. I'm sorry, I'm taking over again. I haven't liked his. And I don't think he has liked it. Right?
His heel hasn't been exactly heelish.
No, it hasn't. But that on Friday night, 100% was.
The only thing that's been heel about his run is when he walks with the title behind him in the black John Cena, and the last time is now. That's it.
Last time is now, and how he's changed his hat. It's like where before, how the censored bit used to be through. You could actually now see him, and then on the back of his t-shirt it says, "After this, you can see me."
Yeah.
And I remember we've talked about this, and he said when he first became heel, "I'm not giving you changes." Well, actually, you've not given us changes that we want, right? But you have actually given us some, because the blacked out bit, he gets the music. He doesn't speak to the cameraman anymore. Backwards with the belt. Backwards with his thing. Instead of now throwing it in the crowd, he blaze it on the mat. And I'm thinking, well, you have given us something. Maybe not what we want, but you have actually given us slight changes, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But honestly, I thought that as you say, we'll talk about that pipe bomb. I did not expect it. I really did not. And it's like...
I thought to myself, nah, this match surely isn't going to end that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it ended that way, and then when that said person came out, I was like, maybe this is reinventing the heel run.
Yeah, and I think it did, mate. And that's like what you're saying. I do think if he sat at the top of the ramp the way I'm sitting now, I thought, wow, that just would have made it even something else, if you know what I mean. All in all, great show. But obviously, again, it's led to the build up to the finalists for Night of Champions, and then we'll get the other finalists from Raw leading into that and stuff. But yeah, go on.
What I'm thinking is SmackDown, right? It's 2 days away.
Yes, it is 2 days away, and it's actually in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. But wouldn't it be class if they started the show the way it ended, but have Cena cross-legged on the
ramp? Yeah, no, mate, that would be. No, what? I would lose my shit if they did that. I'm not gonna lie, I would lose my absolute shit if we did that. Fucking hell, John, you're on fire with thinking about different things tonight. Wow, man, what's going on? Right, okay, that's SmackDown covered. I think it was a very good build up to lead to what's coming forward and what we're ready to talk about for going forward. And before we talk about NXT and then Night of Champions too. So, Raw, 2 nights ago, 23rd, we get an opening segment with Mr. Rollins and his crew. Take it away, John.
It built up for the show, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Rollins coming out and just talking about like how he wants to use his lackeys, shall we say?
Yep.
And that he's like that they're his men, nobody else's, and Heyman's the brains behind operations, like we
Did he not
already
call
know.
him in the Did he not actually call him in the Oracle?
Yes, he did.
And WWE have now trademarked that.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering now, obviously the group don't have a name. Could that potentially be the name for Seth's group?
Or instead of having Mr. Heyman as the wise man,
Mr. Heyman and the
he is
Oracle. Yeah, mate, honestly, I'm just, know what? It doesn't matter what Seth does, whether it's singly, individually, that's the same fucking thing. Singly, in a tag, in a trio, like we've already spoke about, they alone are just going to hit the fire and everything else. But I think there's more to come with this faction with someone else who isn't here at the moment, and we'll touch base on that later. I have a theory. I think, okay, because we'll be talking about it, I think Mr. Rollins is going to return with another couple of people, and he's going to challenge Mr. Rollins' group. I don't know when it's happening. I just have that theory it's coming. Then, because obviously we had this segment, that led into the first match, which was Braun Breaker versus Penta. And Mr. Breaker won the match. Take it away, John.
Do you know what? It was speed on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
It was honestly Penta's been on fire since his debut.
Yeah, 100%.
And to give him like this run with all these mega stars
Mm-hmm.
and powerhouses, it's just shown that he can hold his own going forward.
Yeah, no, I totally get that, mate. And it's like, what I love about it, I love his entrance. And I loved it when he was in AEW, right? But so this is how he comes out and he walks slowly. And then he'll go to the fans and he'll go like that. With all the different fans and stuff. And I'm like thinking, oh, wow.
If they're a way to revamp entrances,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, Penta, smooth operator.
Oh, mate, that is class. But no, what? Honestly, wow. That wasn't for that. I'm trying to get not too far ahead of myself, mate. Yeah, it was actually. Yeah. Okay, it was what I was thinking. I thought it was going to lie. Semi-final next, women's. Jade Cargill, Roxanne Perez.
Yeah. Match was again elevating the women again. Honestly, it's shown that they're just as over as the men at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Raw and SmackDown's women division are absolutely on fire.
I mean, it's just, again, because obviously we're having this King and Queen of the Ring tournament, the matches are happening across both brands because it's a SmackDown style and a Raw style. The semi-finals came to that, and obviously Jade Cargill's moved to face Asuka.
Yeah.
That's what she's facing. I forgot about that. But yeah, again, you're 100% right. You know what? Just Perez, just to see her on the main roster, mate. Remember when she was skateboarding in NXT and everything else, and the fact that she was doing that, she came up to the main roster, that gimmick got ditched. When Punk came back, Punk went to NXT when she was still there, and what he said that she was one of his students, or like he classed her like one of his kids, but not one of his kids, if you know what I mean. And just to see them now both being on the same brand, like Punk and Perez, what she could get from, what she could get from Jade, what she could get from the rest of the women within there, but to be able to have that knowledge, if she's needing something, she could go to Punk and say, what do you think? What do you think of this? What do you think of that? Yeah. To be able to tap into that with her being on that roster. But to see her come from that being the skater on the skateboard, I get that was her gimmick in NXT. But to see her being more serious and featured and stuff, and potentially being in along with the Judgment Day and potentially helping along with Raquel Rodriguez and stuff. You know what I mean? It's just phenomenal to see. And I'm just so happy that she's able to get elevated with Judgment Day as well, if you know what I mean.
The run she's had on the main roster, she is just coming and it's just been boom, 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 boom. The best run from anyone that's came up from NXT from that women's division.
Oh, 100%, mate. Right, and then after the Jade Cargill Perez, and obviously Jade's going to the finals, and she will face Asuka at Night of Champions. We get another segment. Gunther segment.
Oh, and that's him just talking about like the upcoming match with Mr.
Yes.
Goldberg.
Yes, exactly.
Do you know what? If it goes the way I'm thinking it's going to go, I will be happy. If I don't necessarily like this superstar.
I know what you mean. I know you don't, but I agree with you. Why? Right, I know it's his retirement match against Gunther, but why? If he's only coming back for that match, why would you do that? Why? Right? Give Jay the run that he had for him to lose the belt the way that he did to Gunther, for Gunther to go up against Goldberg in Goldberg's retirement match at July the 12th. It's Saturday Night Main Event. Okay, why would you, if he's only going to be there and that is the final match, why would you put the belt on him? You'd have to then, hear me out, if they put the belt on him and he's retiring, he would have to then turn up at a show in another night, like the next night or whatever, to drop the belt again.
Or, wait a minute, this is where it gets interesting.
Okay.
Because remember, a certain person has a certain money in the bank.
Yes. Never thought of that. So he could potentially, he wins it, cashes in on him, and Seth then becomes that's now there we are. I never thought about that, mate. Fucking hell, you're definitely on fire tonight. Jesus Christ, John. Wow. Okay, we get into the match that you really want to talk about. And it's the Intercontinental Championship match. Becky Lynch versus Bayley.
I actually, you know what? I love both women.
Mm-hmm.
I love Becky because she's got that style where she doesn't give a shit what she does.
Yeah.
And then Bayley, like, seen her being babyface, and then the heel that she went on, and then going back to being a babyface, and coming back and attacking Becky, and just seeing her the way it's going. I think, I know she's
going to get the belt. 100% agree with you, but I didn't think she was getting it. Like on Monday night, I really didn't think that was happening. Yes, like you, I love both. But what I thought was really cool in this match, now I can't remember if it was at the start or if it was halfway through, but you know how before when she was heel and during the like COVID and the Performance Centre days, and how because there was no fans before they brought the Thunderdome out, and how the way she being the heel that she was, and the way Cole was being towards her and stuff, and how she when they were in a PC, and how the way she would say it, like to make noise, she was saying stuff to Cole. Right now, as I say, which I thought again, it's character progression, how they've changed and how she's came back. She went out to, I don't know, as I say, I can't remember when it was, but she actually fist pumped Michael Cole, which I thought was pretty fucking cool.
She come around the ring, and she went to Barrett at first, gave him a fist pump, and then she was like, "Did I do it? Did I not?" And then she just went.
Yeah, and I thought, no, what? Because you see her thinking, do it, don't I? But to see her actually doing it, I thought that is class, because you seen what they were doing when they were in the PC during COVID and what she was doing, what Cole was doing. But to see that and how all the hate that he gave her and everything else, you know what I mean? I thought that was class. But yeah, I agree how she's came back, did this, did that, and everything else. I love both. And I do think this isn't over and it's going to continue. Then we get the Raquel Rodriguez promo, which is going to allude to what we've already spoke about.
This is about the injury.
No, I don't think it is, actually, if memory serves me correctly. I think it's because, during matches, like when there's been matches recently, And I know we've not touched on it, but like either she's if Rhea's been about, she's interfered, or she's been in a match, Rhea's pulled her out of the ring, she's pulled Rhea out of the ring and everything else, and she's getting tired of what's going on and what she's wanting to deal with Rhea and everything else. And that. So that's kind of happening at Night of Champions. That match with they two at Night of Champions is going to be a fucking banger.
Oh, absolutely. And there's also another injury on the Raw roster with Dom Mysterio.
Dom Mysterio, yes, I forgot to mention that.
He's out, and that match has been replaced with
Sammy
AJ versus
card. We're going to go through. If you're talking about Night of Champions, we will go through that card very shortly because we've got one more to do, and that's main event. So yeah, basically that promo was about because what's been going on with them, and that's leading to Raquel Rodriguez versus Rhea Ripley at Night of Champions in a street fight match. Basically, that's what's happening.
I forgot
so,
about that.
And then we have the finals for the semi-finals to take to the finals at Night of Champions. Sorry, fuck. Cody Rhodes versus Jey Uso. What a fucking match. Take it away.
Absolute banger. From the start to the finish, I thoroughly enjoyed it. But, like I said, and I'm going to touch on it again.
Yeah, go for it now. It's 100%.
Cody did show that little...
Well, you've seen it. I'll let you carry on. But it's... You know what? I didn't... Because what's happened, and now we could touch on it, because what's happened, I get why that's happened now with Randy. Because this match with him and Cody, we've been wanting it for how long? How long have we been wanting Cody and Randy to fight against each other? Right? So the fact that we're getting that, and we're going to touch base on that when we before we end and stuff. The fact that that's coming.
Yeah, this will be the first time Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton have been one-on-one since Legacy with the triple, because that triple threat match at Mania, I think it was 25 or 26.
25, yeah. So WrestleMania 25, yeah. So honestly, it was just even this match and how you said, as you said, that they're brothers and everything else, and obviously he won, and then Rollins' involvement and everything else comes out, and you see not just him, you see them both, and you see, I don't know if you noticed it, right? You see them, but you see Rollins like with his fist going like this, trying to control himself so he doesn't attack, and I'm thinking, and you see it, and you see the same with Cody, I'm thinking, oh, this is getting feisty, this is going to happen, and it was, the fact that, yes, neither two of them actually hit each other. They didn't have, and like Jay, yes, obviously Cody won, and I get the reasoning behind it now and everything else because that match is going to be absolutely epic. So it built the tournament the way it's been going. It's built the way I thought it would. Obviously, when Jay lost the belt, right, to Gunther to get the match that we're getting against Goldberg, right, because we're getting that, I thought, okay. Even before, like, and I know we spoke about this privately before, even when the graphic came out about the three, like Sheamus, Rusev and Reed, and the graphics there with a question mark, I'm like, and I said it before he fought Gunther, I said if he loses that match, he's in the King of the Ring, and that gives him another opportunity to potentially, if he wins at King of the Ring, to go for the belt again. Now, I originally called it before Pierce mentioned it, because Pierce said he would wait until after he did it, like after, and announced that it was Jay. But I called it in my head thinking it's going to be him. And I thought, but because when I seen the way the brackets were going and looking at keeping an eye on the brackets each week and stuff, and I'm thinking, oh, Randy Sammy, right, Randy's going to win. So if Randy's going to win, it's going to be Cody versus Randy, because we've been wanting it for years. And I'm thinking, oh. And then it was just me, honestly, you're right. Like, the flip is happening, but for Cody, we just don't know when. And I'm looking forward to seeing when it is going to happen.
I think it'll happen I think if they're going to flip Cody to heel, I think they'll do it in the match against Randy. Makes sense.
It does, yeah. I never thought of that. So, oh no, you know what? Brilliant show again, and it built up for what's coming at Night of Champions this weekend. Now we will talk about last night's NXT, and then we will finish up, touch base on Night of Champions. Now, never in a million years, right, did I think that we would get a TNA Championship match opening NXT. Never in a million years. You know what I mean? The fact, yeah, you've had title belts that have opened the show before, but to again having that open the show, like Williams versus Josh Briggs, fucking what a match! What an absolute match! Honestly, just to see both of them showcase everything again, and like the fact that I can't even no, I don't think there was. Can't remember if there was any stuff from the outside in that. But obviously, Trick Williams retained and is still the TNA World Champion. Still has the TNA title.
Yeah, there was at the end of the match, Dollar, well, AJ Francis and KC Navarro did come out and attack Josh Briggs at the end.
But did something else not happen as well? Or am I barking up the wrong tree here?
No. Josh Briggs' partner came out and saved Josh Briggs.
Josh Briggs' partner, but did something else not happen? No, am I just barking up the complete wrong tree here?
Oh, yeah. We got a save from Mr. Henry as well.
But I didn't notice though as well. I know when I seen that, I don't know if it was just the crowd, but I don't know if it was because what he came to do, and then he did the save, but did he not then attack him as well?
Well, what happened was his music hit.
Yep. Is Trick not in the ring that way, and he's looking to see where Joe's coming from? He's looking towards Tron, isn't he? He's looking towards Titantron.
I'm thinking he's going to come down there, but no.
He comes from behind.
And then he attacks him.
Yeah, so that's building to him getting them fighting. If it's not next week or TNA...
It's Slammiversary? No.
So yes, it will be Slammiversary. Yeah, I think so. I think it could well be.
Yeah. They announced the match because it did say the NXT commentators did say that Joe Henry was going to face the winner of Josh Briggs and Trick Williams.
Right, cool. So that's culminating to the next TNA pay-per-view, which is what we've always been doing and culminating to anyway. So, but yeah, I just really did not expect this to open the show, and I was like, wow. And then to get all the afters that we did as well to build it, and then again, just to see Joe Henry in WWE, because he was in TNA, it's phenomenal, because we seen him before in our own local promotion, mate, and to see how far he's come.
Oh, absolutely. Like, you know 2015 Henry, black hair.
Yeah, mate.
Local hero. Boom. Then to see him like where he is now and how over he is and his music.
100%.
Joe Henry is everywhere. Absolutely everywhere.
Mate, once you hear that song, you can't unhear it, unfortunately. That's the thing. It comes on and it's... You know what I mean? So...
At parties, my mum and dad threw me a 30th birthday party.
Yeah.
It was my gran threw a party. It was played at her party. Then my dad's had a 60th this year. It was played at then. And my sister, who's not even a wrestling fan, she even likes the song.
You know what I mean? And that just shows you, mate, if it's not getting to people that are wrestling fans, the fact that they like it, and then the song does what it's intended to do, though, for him. Because it gets interaction when it needs it as well.
Like he said on Chris Van Vliet, he wanted to create something that was going to improvise his character.
And it's 100% in that. I'm not going to lie, but it actually has. You know what I mean? To see, as we say, to see him being from the local hero with the pants and see him now, what he's doing is just wow. Moving on to Javon Heights versus Tavon Heights. Javon Heights won. Take it away.
I actually really enjoyed this match. I watched NXT last night, and he, because he got disqualified.
Yes, he did. That's right.
And then now that he has to stay in no quarter catch crew,
That's correct, mate. Yes.
you're one
Which he didn't
because
want.
he's wanting to break away from that group and be his own
100%.
person because he know what he can do on his own.
Yes. Oh, yes. Totally, mate.
Charlie is
Say
getting
that
on my
again, bud?
nerves. Then Charlie Dempsey's getting on my nerves now with this woman.
Oh, mate, honestly, I get he's Regal's son and everything else, but fuck me, it's just getting monotonous, if you know what I mean. It's just one of those things. It's like fucking hell. Grow a pair and get on with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Then
exactly.
we get Ricky Saints versus the Ashanti the Adonis. So I think does it not start outside the ring, if I remember correctly, before it actually gets anywhere? Which is, you know what, it's great to see, because we've not really seen much of that in NXT. But I obviously Ricky Saints wins. But you know what, I'm loving seeing him in NXT. I think he needs the growth, but I do think we'll see him on the main roster. Within the next calendar year.
Yes, absolutely.
So we get an Obafemi promo. Take it away about his promo.
Yeah, he's just talking about like how he's been so dominant over like the last year or so. And then does he not get interrupted?
Anna Murray gets in his face.
Yeah, that's the one. And then
Yoshua leaves, Jasper Troy right trains him and confronts Obafemi from the apron.
Yeah. And I you know what? When they two get in the ring again, I think that's going to be an absolute barn burner.
I do too, mate. Then after this, we get and Izzy Dame rolls up for a chat with Paxley, and she gives her a gift and asks her to be in her corner at the main event, which I thought was very interesting. I didn't expect this, like from Izzy Dame to ask Paxley to be in her corner at the main event, but I get why. I totally do get why, because of what happens in said main event, if that makes sense. Yeah. I totally get why it was done. So then we get Sol Ruka and Zarya rolling up and saying, oh, the title's best friend holds it close and she'll get the title. So it looks like, because obviously what we're going to get at the main event, it looks like going backwards and forwards. We'll get all these different ones walking away and whatever else. And then we've come to Tony D'Angelo versus, I've probably butchered his name, but when he makes his entrance, then we obviously get the usual break. We get the commercial break, which isn't for long. We get that. And then we come back and, Trick Williams is berating High Rise for whatever reason backstage, and Wesley tells him that he's going to be whooping Joe Hendry's ass next week. Williams likes the sound of that. So, and I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. So Wesley's backstage telling him to Trick Williams, I'm going to whip Joe Hendry's ass next Tuesday. And I'm like, wait a fucking minute. I did not see that coming, because that came out of fucking nowhere. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, I know what's been going on, and Wesley's been having Trick's back in different things and everything else. I still think there's more to go. Sorry, it's this match where Tony D'Angelo and challenge Stax Lorenzo. If I remember rightly, it was for the Heritage Cup, correct?
Yeah, because it was meant to be right. So it was announced. Noam Dar versus Stax.
That's right. Yes.
But Noam Dar got injured, and then Ava said she was going to announce a new competitor to face Stax, right, yeah. And then, so that's how this match came about. But that goes back to last week's NXT, and this is where this stems from, I think.
Why the promo happened and where I'm saying about it, how it came. It makes, see, after watching this, it makes sense now, because when Noam Dar getting injured and stuff, 100% it all makes sense now. But at the time, I'm thinking, why are we getting this? But because of what happened, I get why they've went down the route. Obviously, Stacks wins and has now got the new Heritage Cup and everything else. So, all in all, what did you actually think of the match, John?
I thought there was too much interference outside.
Mm-hmm. Yes, 100%, mate.
And I'm just getting so tired of the third guy. I can't remember his name.
I can't remember either, mate. Fuck, I don't know.
But he was... Tony D'Angelo wanted them taken out the group. Yeah. And then he was told to stay away, and then he come back and tried to help Tony, but everything he tries to help Tony, something goes wrong and he always ends up hitting him.
Musha Crucifio. That's the guy, because he tries to help Tony D'Angelo.
Yeah, and he smacks him with a bucket.
Yes. I agree with you, mate. There was far too much. I get a Heritage Cup match, what they need the rounds to determine and everything else. But again, you're right. Far too much involvement. And everything else. Again, happy, yes, very happy that it's someone else that's got the Heritage Cup now. We're looking to see where it goes. Yeah, Don's not having any. You're right. Drops him with right hand. Tony doesn't trust Look at our Stacks now, apparently. So we'll see where that's going to go. Then we get Fatal fucking Influence interviewed backstage.
Getting a bit annoying with them as well, to be honest with you.
About how they showed Blake Monroe last week and stuff, where she fits in their division. And JCJ talks about watching because she's watched the first Evolution pay-per-view, so she kind of talks about that as a fan, thinking if there's anyone that ever should be on it should have been, and where it is, it should have been her. Obviously, in between all that, we see Miss Grace doing her pull-ups, as she does, and stuff. Then we got another little segment break, and we get Thea Hale again. She's chatting to a bunch like, have you seen LFG, John? Legends thing ain't great. So she was chatting to some of these guys. Yeah, she was chatting to some of these guys and stuff, and playing and whatever else. And then I think after that we get another segment. It was Izzy's Dame's turn. No, Lash Legend goes to chat and whatever else. About what the match upcoming and stuff, and what they're going to solve it later, and let her get things done when it comes to the main event.
Aye,
mate, there's so many bloody segments this show. Honestly, I get why they have them and stuff, because I get it. But like, what did you think? Right, 'cause I've talked about the other segments, but what did you think when Ava confronts Ethan Page backstage?
You know what? Her and Ethan don't really get along. You could tell that straight away.
100%.
But we need to remember how over Ethan was before. Yeah. The NXT. But I loved the interaction, because even though she was the Rock's daughter, they've never shown that on television.
No, they haven't, and which I think is good. She's going out there on her own and stuff, and she's not, if you know what I mean.
And what else I like about it as well is when she has beef with somebody, they don't go, "Oh, you're not going to run to your daddy, Big Rocky."
Yeah.
They're just letting her roll with it.
Yeah, she called him pathetic and everything else. He went backwards and forwards, but I thought it was good to see that. And like, as you say, we've seen it in previous shows that she doesn't have that issue or whatever and stuff. And then we talk about, he says he's going to suffer it on his Mr. Ego. In between it all, it says he's going to suffer it all on his own with his own vanity project. So I wonder what that may be. And then there's something else goes on backstage, and she goes to investigate what it is. Then we get Mr. Henry interview back as well. So he thinks about losing because he goes on about losing the title to Trick and how he's wanting to obviously get that back at Slammiversary. So you were correct about Slammiversary, my friend. And he says Leslie's forgotten where he came from, but he's going to remind Wesley about it next week.
That's going to be awesome.
And then we get to, because we've had all the other stuff, we then get to the main event, but we obviously have them making their entrances. But when we come back, we get a Chase U vignette.
Not really. Andre Chase is good.
Yes, but I thought we were done with this, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
So I was like, the fact that it came up and then there's other people getting on and going on about the relationship and the environment and everything else, I'm thinking, this is like a repeat of what we've had before. And I thought, oh, Chase U's done. But it looks like they're going in another direction. Again, still with Chase U. Obviously, I can't even remember much of the matches. But then we are now on to the women's main event, which is Izzy Dame versus Lash Legend versus Jada Parker versus Jordana Grace. And the winner of this match will face, it's for the number one contenders match, will face JCJ at Evolution. So, take it away.
At ringside watching on to see who her competitor is.
She is. So, Miss Grace wins, obviously. So, carry on, my friend.
Fantastic match, great spots. They showed what each competitor can do.
Mm-hmm.
But there was too much outside
interference.
Interference, and there was too many spots outside as well where nobody could keep up with what was going on with which competitor.
The thing is, with a match like this, though, you knew there would be, because it's like a fatal four-way to determine who is. So a match like this, there is. But I agree with you. There was far too much going on for them to build to what they were potentially going to as well. Now, I'm sure at some point I've missed it, but did Miss Monroe not sign her contract last night as well? Officially sign her contract for the company, or is she in a match with someone about something?
No. That was last week's NXT that she signed the contract.
See, there we fucking go. So we didn't even mention it, but we've mentioned it now in this week's NXT.
Because Fatal Influence came out and put Blake Monroe for a table.
Yes. So, you know what? Again, obviously, the stuff with Trick and Joe is building for Slammiversary. You've got Wesley going to take him on next week on NXT. But I do think that Trick will be there. There'll be some involvement with Trick somewhere. They built the matches. They've added in the stuff for the Women's Evolution. All in all, I think, you know what, it was great for fuck's sake, no. A great match, a great overall card, a great evening again, and it's just seeing where all this talent are going. It's just, never in a million years did I think you'd have Jordana Grace, Top Dollar, AJ Francis, Casey Navarro, Casey Navarro, sorry, not Casey. All these guys that we've come to know, and like Ricky Saints being back in the WWE, whether it be with TNA, if they're on the TNA brand, with WWE. Wow. I never in a million years actually thought this would come to this. And I'm happy that the way NXT's evolved as a brand from the heyday when Triple H had it into how it's evolved and carried on since he went to creative side of things for the main roster and everything else.
Aye, because it went from Black and Gold 2.0 to now being known as the third brand.
Yes, exactly. It's mental, mate. It just shows the evolution and how it's we're using the women's promotion to say how NXT has evolved. You know what I mean? So yeah, honestly. And now, right, well, let's just get into it, because obviously, yes, we have Friday Night SmackDown before Night of Champions, but so matches that we have for Night of Champions so far, there is 6 of them. So it's the King of the Ring finals, which we've already alluded to how much of a great match that Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton is going to be. That is going to be an absolute banger of a match. And then we've got the Women's Queen of the Ring finals to determine, like, whoever wins, they get crowned, obviously, and they get a future championship match against the prospective title holder of their brand at SummerSlam. Correct?
Yep.
Thank you. So we've got Asuka versus Jade Cargill, which again, I think that match, and just alone for Asuka's entrance, is going to be something phenomenal.
Absolutely.
We have Mr. Punk versus Mr. Cena for the undisputed title. I think something else is going to happen in this match, but on you go.
Now, if this match goes the way I think it's going to go, I think that they should have the roles reversed.
Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Have Cena go over Punk, go over the barrier into the crowd, go up the stairs, turn around and go, and then boom.
Nice, mate. I like that. But I have another theory. Because remember, this is, again, I'm going back to the way we like long-term storytelling. Remember the last time Mr. Cena had the belt? Who was Mr. Money in the Bank the last time Mr. Cena had the belt? And who is Mr. Money in the Bank now?
But
yes, I know what you're going to say.
We allude to what I said earlier.
Yes.
If Goldberg.
Yeah, I know. The thing is, he could still potentially tempt it, right? But he fails. He fails because he doesn't get a chance. Because he goes and something happens and he doesn't. So you'll still have the briefcase for what you were alluding to. And stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing if he does, potentially, because I've seen the photo and I'm thinking, that's happened before. Can he do it again? I'm thinking, So, and then I think, right, match of the night for me, I think is going to be Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu.
Right. Match. This is a match that I had a theory of.
Yeah, go for it, mate. Go.
Right. So, you have Solo getting beat down by Jacob.
Yep.
Then JC comes down.
Yeah, JC Mateo.
But as they're both laid out.
Yeah.
The lights go off.
And who's coming back?
Well, you get the spotlight at the top of the stage. You have Roman in the middle. You have Rikishi at the left. And then you have Jimmy on the right.
Oh, mate, don't you fucking dare. Wow.
They all come down. Then it's total bloodline rules.
Wow, I mean, now that is a fucking shout and a half. But I did say that he was coming back. And I do think it is something because, he's not been around for a while and everything else. Yeah. And because what's going on and with the bloodline and everything else, I know he's done his own thing now and what happened with the rest of them when it came to it and everything else and that. So, yeah, mate, that's a good shout. That is a very good shout. But I do think this match alone, even without any interference, I think this is going to be match of the evening. I totally do. Oh. Then we have Rhea Ripley, Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight match. Mate, that, because what's been happening recently over the shows between SmackDown and Raw, because of what's been going on, because we've had the tournament and stuff, I do think this is going to be a brilliant match with these two alone, because they'll put on a banger. And I'm looking forward to seeing, other than tables, other than chairs, other than ladders, what else is going to use? Candlesticks, whatever. Because I know what happened the other week, she got put through the table. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm interested to see what happens, and with that,
You think? I know this is going. I know this is not even relevant, right? But do you think Rhea could cosplay Raven and bring out the shopping trolley with all the weapons inside it?
man, now that would be class as fuck, actually. Now, obviously, Sammy and Mr. Karrion Cross, I believe this is his first PLE for Mr. Cross.
Since WrestleMania, yes.
Yes, first PLE since WrestleMania. So looking forward to seeing that and seeing where this match is going to go. Because remember, obviously, there's been the segments backstage with him and Karrion going backwards and forwards, and then obviously Sammy got knocked out of the tournament.
Yeah.
So I'm like, when I seen it, I don't know if it's because of what's happened to the other matches, and that's why this match is in here.
This match has replaced the Dominic Intercontinental match.
I thought that's what it was, but no, what I'm actually looking forward to getting to see Karrion in the ring instead of being backstage and being a thingy and stuff and speaking and stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing.
It's since WrestleMania last year, not this year.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how. But what I would love, and I totally agree with Nikki Bell when I seen this tweet, we need to see Scarlett in the ring more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But no, what I do, I think this show's going to be a good show, and whatever happens in it, for it, whoever wins in them and stuff, I think it's building, whatever does happen, it's building to bigger and better things as well, going forward for summer, obviously Saturday night main event, and then leading into SummerSlam over 2 nights.
Controversially, what's going on over that side of the world. I didn't actually think it was going to go ahead over there.
I think there's a lot of folk that did, but and stuff, and I totally get that. But I think as well, the fact that it shows I know we go on about the way Vince was, right? And like, look at what happened in COVID, and he was happy to continue and do what he needed to do and stuff. But this it's not reminding me of that, but it's a fact that it obviously isn't affecting them in the area that they are. Yes, they may be worried, there may be other or whatever, but the fact what they've got 2 shows in Saudi, like because SmackDown's there on Friday evening. And obviously you've got this. Now obviously because obviously time difference for us and over in Saudi is completely different. So I'm wondering if SmackDown will be at a similar time to what Night of Champions is. Because Night of Champions I know is 6 p.m. UK time. So I'm wondering if SmackDown on Friday night is going to be around about the same time for us.
I won't be able to watch Night of Champions until I finish work at 9.
All right, okay. Well, know what? It's been a pleasure as always, my friend. Thank you for it, because obviously we've been busy the last week, and obviously I'm busy tomorrow night because we were just going to record instead. So I thank you for joining me and covering like 7 different shows, because we've alluded to Night of Champions. But thank you for everyone when you all see this. The next 3 weeks, we will be changing stuff up. We will actually be going live on doing the podcast live, because obviously we're both available on the Thursday evening and always in that. So thank you again, everyone, for watching, and enjoy watching us waffle about all WWE. Peace.